Hey guys, it is day 43 of 365 days of my raw suspending disbelief journey. Um, it is June 4th, 2024. And let's see. Today, today was supposed to be nice out so that we could go for that bike ride. And it did end up happening later, but for most of today, it was still raining and really gross out. And I have zero complaints because last summer we spent the entire summer stuck inside or coughing because there was so much smoke from forest fires around where we live. We're in Canada, so it's like it was BC, it was Alberta, it was everywhere, right? And it was so bad that um, that was the summer where like the smoke went across the ocean to the UK. Like it was insane, right? It was all over North America. Um, so right now, all of these rainy days, as much as they're not as fun for us to go outside and be in the sunshine and play and plant our plants and all of these things, it's so so needed, and I'm so grateful for it. So absolutely not a complaint. However, um it was just me and my youngest today. The other kids were back to school, and it was rainy, so we were just kind of stuck inside. And after the last week of um, really being, it, I don't know what the right word is here, but like really just being taken over by birthdays. Like it was Tuesday was Casey's, my youngest's birthday, and then yesterday, which was a Monday, was my son's. But in between there, we also had friends' birthdays. We had like all the things going on. So it was just an insane week. And while I did do some work, I didn't do anywhere near as much as usual. And so today was absolutely dedicated to work. Um, for the most part. And I just sort of like cuddled up with Casey. She put on a show and I worked, right? And sometimes those are the days that we have, and that's fine. Um, and today was mainly focused around my business membership, making sure that everybody is moved over to the new platform, making sure that everybody has access to the things that they need access to, um, getting certain workflows on the back end of my business in the website all sorted out today. I also had my quote unquote open office hours this afternoon for my business membership, my business coaching membership. And that has been working so much better inside of Telegram versus as a Facebook group. So I'm really, really excited about that. And today, I also discovered that I could schedule content ahead of time, like schedule um, messages to be sent out in Telegram, um, which which is incredible. Okay, I would always schedule out posts ahead of time on Facebook. I would, all of that kind of stuff, to try to keep the group more engaged. But of course, on Facebook, everything is based on algorithms. Everything is like, if you get lucky, a good percentage of the people will see it. Never will they all see it unless you like one by one tag them and nag them, right? Right. So when it comes to having a paid program on Facebook, um, and it used to be a little bit better, but more recently, Facebook has gotten much more sporadic with notifications. Things are very unreliable and so on. And so, moving my business membership over onto Telegram and having all of the trainings and everything stored on my website in their membership portal just it already just feels so much more amazing. People are participating. People are engaged in it. They are seeing the messages. They are getting the help that they need, which is what they're paying for by being in my membership. Um, and just so many things, right? There's so many benefits to it, and it's been working really well. And the only struggle that I was having with it was that I couldn't schedule things ahead of time. So therefore, for me to maintain the quote unquote engagement, right? It's a little bit different than on Facebook, but to keep people focused on their goals throughout the month, um, as far as their businesses go, um, I was concerned, right? Like I wanted this to be something where I had set new boundaries more recently where like, okay, I'm only coming in once a week to answer questions. I'm only coming in once a week to do this, to do that. And minimizing my hours spent on my group coaching business membership because I it's a low ticket membership, right? I'm not charging a lot of money for this. And my time is valuable. And it's not that these people don't deserve my time. It's that I need to be wise with how I'm spending my time, especially while I have multiple other offers that I'm also working in and on in my business. Multiple other programs, multiple other, everything that's going on. So I needed to have these better boundaries. And what I was concerned about with the Facebook group, I could answer questions, I could be scheduling content at the same time, I could be, doing all of that, have it all be within my set hours and be done. The problem was that I wasn't seeing all the notifications. So then people's questions were getting missed and things were just not as flowy and people weren't getting their notifications. People weren't getting all of the help that they needed. So then they weren't always coming into the membership to utilize it and so on and so forth. Um, with this, I was like, this is perfect. They see all the notifications. Everything is wonderful. People are using it. But the problem then becomes that I need to go in multiple times a week to send a message to just keep them like it just keeps them on track, right? I need to go in multiple times a week to send a message just to kind of keep them on track. And it is, I was like, this is not going to be efficient. This is what's going to end up happening is then I open it to go to put those messages in there and I get distracted. I see, oh, these people have left comments and messages since last week. There's this thing to look at, that thing to look at, whatever. And then I'm not sticking to my boundaries. I'm not keeping my business hours, right, for this particular membership. And I wasn't loving that part of it, but everything else was great. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna figure something out with this. I've never figured something out where I was able to remember to go in consistently enough, or where I was able to not get sidetracked if I did go in consistently enough, right? So somewhere between the two, depending on how my ADHD brain is functioning on any given day, I knew like this is one of my absolute nemesis things, right? This is something that I know is difficult for me. So, anyways, today I discovered that I could schedule messages ahead of time in Telegram. And I was like, boom, what? This is amazing. This is, this is everything, right? And the worst was about 3 months ago or so. Um, Kelly and Jess and I, with our unofficial mastermind chat, we were discussing possibly taking it off of Facebook Messenger just because we're trying to avoid social media. more and not be on there unless we needed to, kind of thing. But we would go on there to talk to each other, even if we were trying to stay off for work purposes or for scrolling purposes or whatever. So we had talked about moving over to Telegram, and I was really resistant to it. I was like, I do not want another app. I do not want more places to check. I do not want notifications in like all of these different places that then take up all of my time. And I get sidetracked too easily, and this, and that, and the other thing. And Jess is totally going to have like an I told you so moment tomorrow when she wakes up to my messages because I'm like, this is amazing. Whatever. But that's fine. Like, she was totally right. Telegram is amazing. It is so functional, and it's nice. You can have like all of the different types of like the different topics under the different group chats so that it keeps all of the stuff organized for you so that you have, for me, for my business membership, that means I have like a celebrations topic or thread. It's kind of like a separate conversation just for celebrations. I have one just for um, questions and support, and I have one for the accountability section of the membership, and so on, right? And having it sort of sectioned off like that keeps it nice and clean and organized, makes it really easy to function during my business hours and make sure that I am addressing the right things at the right times, that I'm getting back to everybody. It keeps everything marked as like unread, right? As long as I'm not going in there, it's all marked as unread. So that I can know exactly where I left off and just pick up from there. Um, and still have also the message history, right? Where I'm able to see, okay, um, this is what we were talking about last week, right? And and I can turn on my notifications for it for the business hours, my office hours that I have, and then turn them off for the rest of the week so that I'm not looking at it and being sidetracked by it and going outside of my boundaries and my business hours for it, and on and on and on. So I'm absolutely loving it. Um, and the I was absolutely blown away. Here's some like free marketing for Telegram, but literally their free version includes so much. I was like, how? I can schedule it way farther ahead than I could on Facebook. I have scheduled all of my pre-scheduled content for my business membership for the rest of 2024. And I did that in like just a couple of hours tonight. So that was incredible. I I just, all of the things. It was amazing. I was so happy with how today went and how much I got done and how much time it's going to save me going forward, how much of an impact that's going to make. And one of the things that has, that I've struggled with this business group coaching membership is that, um, because of having hosting it on Facebook, the notifications thing became such an issue, right? It was like things would get missed, things would get left behind. There'd be new questions the next week. And then I'd be like, oh my gosh, it's been 3 weeks and I totally forgot about this one. And, it just wasn't a good system. And was leaving it so that it was like I was unreliable versus Facebook was unreliable, right? Where like, oh, Facebook didn't give me the notifications for this. And I can't scroll back through the whole group history to ever to see where somebody may have put a new comment or or whatever. So it was so non-functional by this point, and it was becoming such a drag where it was like I was almost having to drag everybody except for like a few who were actively trying to participate in it and putting in the effort to get the coaching that they needed. But with most of the people in there, it was just like, come on, you guys, like bring it into the group. I would see somebody post in another group and be like, I have this question. And I'm like, dude, you're in my membership. Why aren't you asking me this question? Right. And like, it was like they literally forgot, right, that they were in my membership because it was so bad with the Facebook notifications. Like it just was such a struggle. So it had become over the last few months. Before it wasn't so bad, but ever since the Facebook notifications game has been demolished, like it's been such a struggle. Um, it had become really, really difficult. It had become a huge drag, and just everything was so much harder. And this is just so much easier in just a couple of weeks of doing this now. Everybody's like, yes, okay, we love this. We weren't sure, but we love it. It's working really well. Everything is so smooth. It is amazing. Just absolutely amazing. I know that I can get them the results they're looking for now in an amount of time that leaves me free to support myself and my family through other offers, through other things, so that I can give back in this way with my low ticket membership. So I just, all around, just absolutely incredible. And maybe doesn't sound the most exciting or the most like, ooh, big, huge wins. But to me, this was massive. This was um, the awareness of the amount of time that I was going to save over um, the next forever, right? Like all of my weekly reminders, all of my monthly reminders, all of my everything, like it's all done. It's all set and ready to go. And, um, you know, I was mostly sold on Telegram before today until I hit this. And then it was like, okay, I am completely sold. This is amazing. I'm not going to move my free group over and try to get hundreds of people to follow over, right? But I'm just for paid things, this is just, it makes so much more sense. Um so yeah. Kudos to Jess on this one. She was ahead of the game. She got us to move over there, and I am loving it. And Jess, whenever you listen to this, you were totally right. And Kelly was making so much fun of me tonight because she's like, "Oh, you Manny Jen, like you just can't tell you guys anything. You have to, get to it in your own time and this and that." And she's just teasing, but it was so funny. I was like, "Yep, it's so true," because I fought this so hard. I was like, "Nope, I'm not going to participate over there. You guys can have your little chat over there, but you better not abandon me on Messenger on Facebook because this is where I'm staying." And now I'm like, "Oh my gosh, why?" Now I'm like, Telegram is amazing. Anyway, so all the free marketing for Telegram today. um, but it just was, again, this is my low ticket membership. It's not a ton of money every month. It's a little bit. It's nice to have. It's great. And it's enough of an energy exchange that the women in there are able to get the support that they need, right? Where they're actually showing up and utilizing the support that I offer. And just again, you know, I've made several changes to my membership over the last 6 months to a year. And I was really hesitant with this one. I was like, do I really want to try and do this? Like, put everything over onto my website, move over to Telegram. What if it doesn't work out? What if this? What if that? And it was just like, no, I trust myself. Like, yes, this is another change. Yes, this is another pivot, but I trust myself. I know that I'm going to make this work. One way or another, I'm showing up for my people. I'm doing what it is that they need, etc. And it's not me changing platforms because I'm a Manny Gen or I'm ADHD and I'm just always got to do things differently. It was like, this isn't working. And I trust myself to find what is going to work. And so I did it. And I'm so happy. Like, this is amazing. I am so proud of it. I'm so happy with how it's going. And really looking forward to being able to like really maximize the service that I'm able to provide for my clients. Speaking of which, if you are looking for some business coaching in a group container, my business coaching membership is the place to be. It really is. This is high touch during business hours, very, very supportive, it's a great community as well. And just being able to take from my tens of thousands of dollars of investment into my business and my business learning and all of that I now take and am able to answer your questions when you need them so that you can get your business off the ground. And I just absolutely love it. So there are a few spots available. If you are interested in that, I will link that in the show notes for anyone who's interested in joining. I also had the conversation finally with Kelly today to try to narrow down sort of on what we were doing with the suspending disbelief coaching pod, because we had decided we wanted to collaborate on it, that we wanted to coach on it together. And then it kind of just sat, right? It got put on the back burner with other things that came up. And now I'm like, oh yes, okay, I'm very excited. Right. And when we get the clarity, it's always like, this is so exciting. So I'm super excited to say that that is officially a go, that we are um tag teaming the coaching pod for the suspending disbelief movement. So if you are looking for some energetic support, some mindset support, some coaching support, two for the price of one kind of thing. You get a year if you pay in full. It is 1111 for the year, and if you want to do a monthly payment, it is 111 per month. And again, you get two coaches during business hours, limited hours. It's again, not a very high price point for the value that you're getting, but it is meant to help people to shift their lives in a massive way, but get in there without the big scary number price tag, right? So super, super excited about that. And that link will also be in the show notes for anyone who is ready to fully jump in on suspending disbelief and have that energetic support and accountability to maintain it for the year. So just keep in mind, you guys, your success is inevitable and you are always exactly where you should be, whether that's in or out of our pod, right? We're offering this as a support, not as a necessity, and happy to be able to support those who are interested, and happy to just continue to inspire those who want to just follow along and do it on their own. And that is more than okay also. So yeah, just a very business oriented day, kind of wrapping tasks up, tying up loose ends, getting things done. And it felt amazing. It was very productive. And the sun came out after supper for long enough for the kids to go for a bike ride to the park and get to go and play in the playground for an hour and a half before bedtime. And everything just seemed to work out perfectly um, throughout the day. So, loving the flow and the feeling of my life right now is kind of my big reflection on this, where it's just everything is all is right in the world. Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. So, anyways, that is what I have for you today. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Love you.